the evidence was there that he was going to do something or whatever. He kept talking about,
I remember,
people are out to get me. If I die, it's because people killed me, right? So he has this thing. He's like, they're trying to drug me, my parents. And there's always these convoluted stories, you know? I've known this guy for, what is it now? 20 years?
I remember when he
like.
came on the scene.
It's been like 20 years, yeah.
He came from
He
online.
was the young online phenom named Tom Dwan who went as Durr, right? And he sort of came onto the high stakes poker scene playing huge pots, $1 million pots, and bluffing and playing crazy. I mean, everybody was like in awe of him. He was playing online, you know, millions of dollars in swings and all that kind of stuff, you know. And of late, you know, people saw some stuff on X. So I wanted to prefix what people saw to my story with him. When I started to notice there was maybe something a little off or different. It was years ago. We were at the Aria, and he's like, you know, can we go for a drink? Like, I have something really important to talk to you about. Okay, I don't know what this is, right? We go over to the Aria bar. I sit with him. It's just me and him. He's like, give me your phone. I was like, what? He's like, I'll go put the phones in the car. I was like, what the hell? What is this? I was like, I'm not doing all that. He's like, well, at least take the battery out, right? You want me to take the battery out? So I'm like,
gosh.
Okay, fine. I'll take the battery out, whatever. Now I'm expecting, what is this? FBI, you know, something? And then he just wanted to shoot the shit. It was like, there was nothing to it, but he didn't want anyone listening, right? So like, he's always had that, you know, and he's always had this, he started to do that more and more. And then recently you saw.
So that's interesting to know that this isn't new.
Well, I think what happened recently is newer, but like he's always
that makes a difference, by the way.
He's always had, I can't remember who it was, but a little bit like a delusion with grandeur, if you will, like where, you know, he sees something going on in the Middle East. He's like, let me talk to Putin. I'll go there and I'll handle it. Like he believes he could go like talk to Kim Jong-un and fix things, you know? Yeah. And he really believes that. Like he does have a lot of powerful people in his life. And he's always been able to, you know, connect with people. Yeah, grandiose thoughts and all that sort of stuff. So nobody saw anything. I mean, he's been weird. Like, you know, sometimes he just shows up 4 hours late to something, but nothing out the ordinary. Yeah. He goes on X and you read what he wrote.
I read some of it.
And what were your thoughts on some of it?
That he was in psychosis. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to diagnose him with anything, but that's what it looks like. I think a lot of people think that. So
what do you think? Like if you had to throw a, you know, like a dart and guess.
Okay. So since you know better that he's been having this, that he's had some weird shit for a few years, I thought this was brand new. I didn't know this was something that's been going on.
Something like this. Yeah. I'm just saying that.
So there's three things that he could have. He could have schizophrenia. He could have bipolar. Because that's, I
don't think he's that.
You have grandiose thoughts when you're in psychosis. So, or you can have schizoaffective. And that's basically like.
That's the interesting one you told me about.
You have a psychosis plus a mood disorder. So that means, that's what I was thinking because you're saying he had some stuff before. So he probably had some sort of mood disorder before. If he was acting like that. So what does schizoaffective mean? It's psychosis plus a mood disorder. The central thing is when you're really in it, you have psychosis. But it's moderate to severe when schizophrenia is very severe. So I don't say schizophrenia because usually when you have schizophrenia, it's often very severe most of the time. But he's normal as well sometimes, right?
What do you say to the people that'll just say, well, maybe he's just on drugs?
I mean, there's psychosis-induced drug use, but you'd have to do a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
And usually when you're doing that, you come out of it pretty quickly because if you're coming off drugs, then you come out of the psychosis. But like, he's been on it for a bit, right? Like you're saying he's been on X for like days doing this, and he's in a mental institution.
Yeah, now he is. Yeah, okay. So he was basically the way that it happened. Apparently, he was flying to London to meet with a guy. I won't name him, but I know who it is.
Okay.
And at the airport, apparently, he was acting crazy, talking crazy, or whatever. And then if you read some of the tweets, he's talking about like the UK and the US government conspiring. And then they're trying to drug him and he's like, please. But then you see like the grandiose thing where he's just tweeting at JD Vance and Trump, like, yo, guys, help me out. Really, please save my life and all this stuff. Then he talked about having like a punctured lung and he talked about.
That was weird.
So like the thing is I'm wondering like when you're reading this stuff, right? Like you look at it and you're like, okay, on the surface, you want to believe people, right? You want to be like, oh my God, this guy needs help.
Yeah, but not when he's asking JD Vance for help.
Then you start to read more of what he's saying and you're like, wait a minute. This sounds like
he's having
unlikely.
Delusions.
Like generally speaking, whenever you see people like tweet like that, whether it's Kanye or Britney or stuff, that's kind of like all over the place and always have some sort of paranoid delusion. There was another guy in poker many years ago who died, by the way. Not that many, ADZ. He had schizophrenia and something else. And weeks before, the evidence was there that he was going to do something or whatever. He kept talking about,
I remember,
people are out to get me. If I die, it's because people killed me, right? So he has this thing. He's like, they're trying to drug me, my parents. And there's always these convoluted stories, you know? And so apparently what happened with him, at least this is what people think is, so he jumped out of a building and killed himself, right? Mm-hmm. The question is, you know, in his mind, like apparently I don't remember where I heard this, but the idea is like he thought they were coming to get him in the room. And so
I read some stuff he wrote.
Like he heard banging on the door, so he jumped out to save his life or whatever. But like, it's really sad because like when people are going through that, like what can you really do to help them other than...
Well, psych ward.
Yeah. So that's where Tom, apparently in the UK, he has to stay for 7 days. And the way it works is they let you have your cell phone until it dies.
Which is crazy. Really they don't bizarre. Really have...
So he's in there like tweeting. And then like, I don't know, his last tweet was like, it's okay guys, I'm feeling better today. You know?
Well, because they fucking dosed him with antipsychotics. That's what happens.
Against his will, they can do that?
Yes, if you're a danger to yourself or others and you have hallucinations.
According to him, he didn't show any signs of that.
Okay.
He was just saying...
If they put you there involuntarily, he was involuntarily put there. He did not want to go there.
No.
Yes. Yes.
So they can drug you, huh?
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
It is, but like if you're acting like that, like you're having hallucinations, well, you're having like...
I don't... Like, you're
seeing
let's say,
things.
You could just like put the person in a room.
Okay.
Put them in cuffs. Like you have to give them drugs too. Like
they're going to beat their face into a wall.
Oh, you feel like, so if they're going to actually, I don't know, man. It's kind of like, I get it. It's.
But look what it's done. It's not like they're going to drug him till he's dead. They're just going to give you a little dose of something to make you come out of this.
Well, but in his mind, you can
think clearly.
He believes they're drugging him to kill him or to do something or who knows.
Except now he's fine.
I don't know if he's fine. He said he's feeling better.
Right.
You know, I don't know.
So that's the whole point. Drugs help when they're needed.
Yeah.
Like in that situation, having an antipsychotic seems very needed because the truth is once you're in psychosis and you let it go and you go longer and longer and longer, a lot of people do kill themselves. He's going to believe that someone's after him so much that he's going to, like you said, the guy before, he jumped off a building or whatever he did. Like that happens in psychosis.
Like, so he described in the tweets that he had like a punctured lung and all this kind of stuff, but a Poker News reporter went there.
Right.
Said he seemed fine. Like physically, you know?
Yeah.
But it's again, in your head, you could feel like, I think I have a ruptured lung. I think you'd know. Or like a ruptured rib. Or broken ribs.
No, he said a punctured lung, which if you had a punctured lung, you will die.
You wouldn't be tweeting.
Without intervention, you die. So I'm saying he could have any of those things and he still could have bipolar disorder.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Because during a manic episode, just like you've seen Kanye do, when you let it go that far, you do feel godlike. You do feel like...
Yeah, I just think, I think it's very unlikely to be bipolar. Just
why?
Because I don't think that I've ever seen him like really goes on either end of the spectrum of like mood swings and stuff like that. And it's also there's no pattern that leads me to believe that he's like...
Yeah, we're just not around him all the time.
Like I haven't seen like any like long period of depression. I mean, I know him
No
enough.
one knew I had depression for a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't let anyone know that stuff.
But he's also not been like a big, drug guy. I've never seen the manic highs.
Oh, some people say he was on drugs.
I'm sure maybe, but like what I mean is like I've never seen him like what I would describe as manic based on,
Well, he definitely is right now.
Yeah, but
he was. I mean, you go to get to psychosis, you go through some mania.
Yeah. I get it. I just feel like it's unlikely to be that one, and it's probably the other one that you said, the
schizoaffective disorder. That means he has a mood disorder on the reg, though. Mm-hmm. That means like he has something going on.
Yeah.
And then he became manic because it's almost like a mix of bipolar and schizophrenia, basically.
Could it be another thing?
But schizophrenia, I think that people would know because he would be in severe like upset all the time.
I have a friend, and you had a friend who both had this happen to them when they were not sleeping at all.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like I had this really good friend and like he was a totally normal guy, just regular dude, athletic, whatever. And then he went through like a 2-week span or whatever. He just wasn't sleeping. And he was acting super crazy energetic, like a kid, was super happy kid. But then he started to like, he was paranoid, didn't know what was going on. He's like, what should I do? Should I run? This and that. He was like really out of it.
Who are you talking about?
I don't want to say.
Okay. So that's either drug induced or bipolar.
He wasn't either of those things.
Okay. He's something. I promise you. You can't stay up for days and be happy about it and not be tired at all without some sort of mania. Drug induced.
So you're saying that
now I've done it both ways. Drug induced, where I've been awake for days because I've never stopped doing the drugs.
But they've done studies. If you don't sleep for long periods of time, you start to lose your mind.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, but that's not necessarily like because you're bipolar.
No, but you can only do it. You can only do it for so long if you don't have something else. Most people can't do it. They get you get the point is if you're staying up like that without drugs, that way maybe that person was on Adderall. Or something.
This guy, maybe Adderall is possible. But
if you're on that, sure.
This guy is the most normal dude ever. He had this one spat, never anything remotely close to that again. He's totally normal, healthy, good shape. It's like it never happened, you know?
Yeah.
It was like a one-time thing.
Cocaine or Adderall will do it.
He wasn't doing cocaine for sure. Maybe Adderall, that's possible, but anyway.
Yeah. Or people who I guess you could do it on caffeine, but I don't think so, honestly. Like when you do it for days and days at a time, most people who do it for days at a time, even on drugs, like when you're getting around day 3, you're wired is what I call it.
You're tired and
wired.
You're
tired, but you're too wired to sleep. And then I think it's similar to how you feel when you're manic.